Okay, hello guys. So today I'm going to talk about the topic vegetarianism. I have created a trail question that actually can occur in the real IELTS test exam. So I have just created to practice my speaking myself. So let's get started. Do you often include vegetarian meals in your daily diet? Why or why not? Yes, I often include vegetarian meals several times a week because they make me feel lighter and more energized, especially at lunch when I need steady concentration rather than a post-meal slump. I also enjoy the variety. Simple dishes like roasted vegetables with whole grains and all that are quick to prepare and genuinely satisfying. What kinds of vegetarian dishes are common in your country? In Vietnam, there's a strong tradition of vegetable-based stews and post dishes such as lentil soups, chickpea curries, and rice with seasonal greens. In recent years, Jewish food style options like tofu wraps and mushroom burger have become mainstream, which has broadened people's idea of what vegetarian food can be. When you go shopping for food, how often do you choose plant-based products? Pretty frequently, I typically prioritize fresh produce and legumes, then add minimally processed items like tofu or tempeh. I look for versatility and value, so I tend to buy bulk dry bean and whole grains that can anchor multiple meals throughout the week. Have you ever tried to stop eating meat for a period of time? How did you find it? Yes, I tried a fully vegetarian month and it was surprisingly easy once I planned my protein source in advance. The only challenge was eating out spontaneously, so I learned to check menus beforehand and keep a few high protein snacks on hand. How easy is it to find vegetarian food in restaurants where you live? Uh, I think in Vietnam there are few restaurants in my neighborhood, but there are many places mark vegetarian options clearly and offer at least one substantial dish. The difference often lies in quality. Some restaurants simply remove the meat, while others design balanced plates with legumes, whole grains, and vegetables. Do you think people in your generation are more open to vegetarian food compared to other people? Yeah, I think it's yes, because my peers tend to view vegetarian food as normal rather than niche, partly because of social media, which showcase attractive plant-based dishes. That said, many older people already cook traditional vegetable forward meals, so the openness may be more about labeling than actual eating habits. So that is that's the end of the part one. So let's turn to the part three question. What are the main reasons people decide to adopt a vegetarian lifestyle in today's society? Um, I think the motivation tend to cluster around health, ethics, and sustainability. Some people are drawn to potential health benefits such as improved cardiovascular markers or better weight management when there's emphasize whole food. Others are influenced by animal welfare concerns, seeing vegetarianism as a virtual daily choice with personal values. Environmental considerations are also persuasive, reducing reliance on resource-intensive food can lower one's dietary footprint. Also, it's a blend of these factors, reinforced by social norms, cost considerations, and greater availability of appealing plant-based options. How might following a vegetarian diet influence not only personal health but also public health system? I think at the individual level, where vegetarians diets can be rich in fiber, micronutrients, and unsaturated fat, potentially lowering risk associated with chronic disease like diabetes or something like that. At a population level, even a modest shift toward plant-based eating could relieve pressure on health system because reducing vegetable consumption and associated healthcare costs. However, the benefits depend on diet quality. A vegetarian pattern dominated by refined carbohydrate and ultra-processed foods wouldn't yield the same outcomes. Public health messaging therefore should focus on whole foods, diversity of plant proteins, and practical meal planning. In what ways could the growth of vegetarianism affect traditional food cultures around the world? It can act as both a perspective and innovator. Many traditional cuisines early feature plant-centric staples. Think lentil doughs, bean stews, or vegetable messes. So vegetarianism can revitalize these dishes and bring them to the fore. Uh, at the same time, it can inspire creative reinterpretation, using local legumes or mushroom to replace meat without losing regional identity. Potential tension arise in globalized plant-based, often products display local ingredient, but thoughtful adaptation can protect culinary heritage while meeting modern dietary preferences. Do you think government should promote vegetarian diets as a way to address global issues such as climate change and food storage? Why not? I think government should promote plan work forward dietary plans with nuance and choice. A policy tools such as updating dietary guidelines, supporting farmers to diversify crops, and improving access to affordable foods, vegetables, and legumes can address environmental pressure and food security. However, top-down mandate can backfire culturally and politically. A more effective approach is to make the better choice the easier choice. Invest in supply chains, subsidize healthy staples, reform public procurement in schools and hospitals, and provide clear evidence-based information while respecting cultural food waste. How could the increased increasing popularity of vegetarian safe future food industry and very usage practice. Uh, so food industry online lead to the portrayal on how food convenient because ready to eat legumes, frozen meat brands, and minimally processed plant proteins alongside new innovation in meat alternatives. On the agricultural aspect, demand may encourage growth. Demand may encourage growth diversification, more resilient rotation, and greater investment on post and specialty vegetables. The transition won't be uniform. Region will adapt based on climate, soil, and market incentives. Crucially, align incentives so that sustainable crops are profitable for farmers will determine whether change is incremental or transformative. To what extent do you think vegetarianism is a personal choice versus a social responsibility? It's primarily a personal choice that is it in within a social context. Uh, for example, in individual, we have a different healthy, we have individual have different health needs, cultural tradition, and economic realities which should be respected. At the same time, there is collectively safe environmental and public health outcomes. So there is a social dimension. A balanced stand is to safeguard personal autonomy while aligning public policy through education, access, and fair pricing with outcomes that benefit society. In other words, enable responsible choice without imposing a single dietary identity. So that is the end of the 12 question I want to talk and discuss with you. So thank you for listening.